Hope everyone had a happy Independence Day. We have a PAT program today. We have West Cook Band to talk about Facebook rejecting their ad for their song, I Stand for the Flag. We'll get more into that with them. We'll talk with Naomi Levin about crowdfunding site called CrowdPack that suspended not only her account, but all Republicans just because they're Republicans, or in their turn, in their words, to reject quote unquote Trumpism. So we'll talk with her, and we'll get on some other things. I guess we'll probably talk about hashtag walk away as well. So all that and more on this episode of Trent Chat.
From the highways of America, here's the podcast where we talk politics, a little entertainment, some culture, and this and that, from the road to your ears. This is Trend Chat with your host, Brian Bledsoe.
And welcome. This is another episode of Trend Chat. I'm your host, Brian Bledsoe. And if you want to connect with us, whether on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, don't forget, trying to make sure I don't forget the Snapchat now. It's all the same name, Trend Chat 24/7. So, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just tell you right now. We're going to talk about it because, just go ahead and bring it down. Yeah, so you hear that? I'm just going to be quiet for like a second. You hear that, right? Okay, you kind of hear something in the background? Yeah, that's a truck. So we're broadcasting from Cedartown, Georgia today. And I'm just saying that to kind of, I guess, make a statement for future episodes. For one, it's too hot. And as we say in the intro, from the road to your ears, obviously, if you don't know by now, I'm a truck driver. So sometimes it's a little hot in the studio. And for the longest time, I've been trying to just sweat it out and just sit here and try to just do the podcast without having you hear the truck in the background. Then I thought about it. Look, y'all know I'm a truck driver, so what? You're gonna, I'm just letting you know right now. From time to time, you might hear the truck going on in the background. So I'm just see that. Okay, I added that part in. That is yeah. Okay, I just added that part. That's just an effect. But I'm just letting you know about that because look, it's just too hot out here. I mean, I just have, I gotta at least be comfortable. I'm going to talk about all this, and but yeah. So I just felt like I just wanted to be honest with you. So if I guess every couple episodes you might hear like, what is that going on in the background? Yeah, that's the truck just running idle, just idling the truck, so I don't die of exhaustion while I'm sitting here trying to do the podcast. So got that out the way. Like I said, we're gonna talk with West Cook Band about their we're gonna actually play their song, which is kind of cool because this is gonna be the first song played on Trend Chat, so that's cool. And also because Facebook rejected the ad to advertise their song because it was called quote unquote political content. And we'll talk with Naomi Levin, who was, I guess, you could say her account was suspended by CrowdPack, which is a fundraising site. And not only her, but other Republicans as well, basically any Republican, for just being Republican. And so we talked with her. But before we get to that, I guess one thing I noticed, they had this movement that's been going on called hashtag walk away, where people are talking about tweeting, posting stories about when they walked away from the Democrat Party for a number of reasons. I've seen all sorts of stories, and it seems like it's picking up a lot of steam. It's funny. I mean, I'm looking on Twitter and I see it trending, and I'm actually surprised to see it on there on Twitter. That Twitter will acknowledge that it's trending. That's what I'm saying, not the fact that it's actually going on. Because I feel like, well, you know, I would just think that they would try to, you know, take it off the trending list so people don't click on it or whatever. But it's there. It's been there here and there some during the day. And I don't know the full extent of how it got started, but I was seeing all these different stories, and I just thought about, for me, when did I walk away? And it just dawned on me, like, it's been pretty much 10 years. And so that's when I just posted about, you know, just noticing that it's been a little over 10 years since I #walked away from the Democrat Party. And like I said, it wasn't a walking away, really, because that would make it seem like I was actually doing something beforehand or that I was actually really involved at that time. No, I was very, you know, apathetic. I didn't care less. I did vote because I understood the importance of voting, but that was it. I didn't really understand why. I mean, I understood why, but I didn't really understand the importance of knowing who you're voting for, really, and really being involved. And so everyone in my community around me would say, you know, to vote Democrat whenever it was time to vote, whether it's, you know, municipal elections, because I definitely didn't know anything about any other sort of elections outside of presidential elections every 4 years. All the other, like, special elections, state elections, county, municipal, I didn't have no clue about when it was time to vote for those elections unless someone told me to go vote. And whenever they told me to go vote, they would just say, you know, to vote Democrat, and then I like, okay, whatever, and I go in the ballot box and hit the straight ticket D and go back home. So like I said, it wasn't around to 2008. Pretty much, well, kind of late 2007, but I didn't really start, you know, looking into as far as who I was going to vote for until 2008. And anyway, first off, becoming a Christian, you know, like that was the main catalyst of where I started my journey. And I don't want to get too long into it, but that basically started the process to where I wanted to know I really wanted to know who I was going to vote for in 2008. So that's when I just started with a blank slate, started looking at both sides, you know, watching Keith Olbermann and then, you know, Sean Hannity, and I remember on the left Stephanie Miller and Rush Limbaugh, and watching Hannity and Combs, and just trying to listen to both sides and just understand terms. Like, I didn't know what conservative mean. I didn't know what liberal mean. I didn't know what progressive meant. I didn't know what Democrat and Republican meant, honestly. So I just started through all that, and there were three big issues that stood out, and then I think one other. But first off, like I said, quickly, I just say, like, taxes. You know, their view on taxing the rich, and basically just taking from people what they earn to give to those that didn't earn it. I didn't agree with that. That's just a simple way of putting it. How I thought about it back then. Now it's a lot more detail, but I'm just going by how I was thinking of it back then. Then redefining marriage between a man and a woman. I really didn't agree with that. And immigration. I really didn't, I didn't understand why they were advocating for people to just come across the border willy-nilly, just advocating for basically open borders, which I just thought that was insane. Like, I'm pretty sure these people, Democrats especially, don't do that in their own personal lives. They don't just let people just come in their house or come in wherever they live, unannounced. I mean, I don't understand why people don't want to. Well, at that time, let me put it that way. I didn't know at that time why people want to do that. But yeah, so that, with that, and the big one, I guess, well, it wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back, but abortion. Their view on, basically killing children and just advocating for, keeping abortion legal, and how they were so careless in how they value human life. Those, yeah. So that was, all of those issues kind of made me #walk away. So I just wanted to bring that up because, it's something that I guess that's really getting a lot of steam right now. So I guess we'll just go get into our interviews. And first off, we're going to talk with Naomi Levin. And like I said, we talked about her having her fundraising account suspended. And we'll talk about her campaign running for House of Representatives in the Congressional District in New York 10. So it's New York 10. So without further ado, here's our interview with Naomi. Hello, this is Trend Chat. We are pleased to have Naomi Levin with us. She is a candidate in the U.S. Congressional District 10 in New York. We wanted to bring her on because of a number of reasons. One, we want to ask about the campaign, but also of an instance that happened a couple of months ago as far as when it comes to fundraising. It's something that I guess kind of hasn't really been on the radar. It's just something that we wanted to talk to her about. So, Naomi, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks, Brian, and it's really nice to be on your show. And everything's pretty good.
First off, I guess let my listeners know, where is District 10 in New York?
Yeah, sure. So District 10 goes from about 113th Street and all the way down the west side of Manhattan to Battery Park City. And then it crosses the bridge and is also in Borough Park and parts of Midwood.
Okay.
Very long and skinny district.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember looking it up online, seeing the map. I was like, okay, it just kind of goes. Your primary is already passed, correct? And so you're going into the general.
That's right.
Okay. And you're going against the incumbent, Gerald Nadler. Well, I guess before we really get into anything, I guess tell us a little bit about yourself and what your, I guess, the stump speech in a way, I guess.
Sure, yeah. Just very briefly, my parents fled the Soviet Union in the late 1970s. My mother and father brought us here. They have 3 children. We're all born here. And they placed a lot of value on the freedoms we enjoy in America. And they instilled in me a sense of public duty and a responsibility to maintain them. And I'm running for Congress to give people a choice in New York. My slogan actually is, we have a choice. Many of the constituents in my district, which is the District of Ground Zero and the District of Wall Street, they haven't felt represented by the current leadership. My campaign has 3 key issues: reducing our tax burden and our regulations, school choice, and strengthening our national security.
Okay. Now, most people kind of know when it comes to doing campaigns, there are a lot of aspects to it, and there's a lot of hard work, and one component of that is fundraising. And so it seems in the past couple of months that I guess you can say, the platform that you were using all of a sudden decided to not wanted to have Republican candidates at all.
Right. Yeah, when that happened, I got blocked from the crowdfunding website called CrowdPack. They wrote, because your campaign features a Republican candidate as a recipient, it will be suspended in 10 days' time. And then sure enough, it got suspended. And, I felt pretty shocked, especially because I think it's antithetical to their mission, which they claim is to make the democratic process accessible to a wider scope of people, so that we're able to compete with our opponents who have the advantage of corporate funding and name recognition, especially a 13-term congressman that I'm up against. So I really think that young candidates today are facing a modern-day David and Goliath story. We want to participate in the political process. We want a fair fight, and where the winner is chosen based on ideas and policy initiatives, not based on our party affiliation, and ideas that will improve the lives of hardworking Americans. So this was a big blow for me.
Now, I saw an article that they posted on a website called Medium, where they said that they were against Trumpism, whatever that means. But now,
Against Trumpism, right.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw that.
now, did they ask you about? Well, did you ask them to define Trumpism, and did they ask you as far as wanting to know about you personally when it comes to your values?
Right. So I was going to ask them. I didn't include that in my letter, but that was a funny statement because I didn't actually have a single place in my website, and I don't today, that mentions Trump. So they really have no basis to assume that I'm somehow endorsing Trump. I actually don't even really know what they mean by Trumpism. Like, it sounds like other people are confused as well. And it just seems to me like they're trying to justify the censorship against a Republican candidate by making sweeping assumptions about our position.
Hello to fans of Trend Chat and Brian Bledsoe. The Founding Project, an education nonprofit dedicated to civics, invites you to visit our brand new website. Visit us at thefoundingproject.com. Be a part of the civics movement with The Founding Project. The Founding Project is a 501c3 education nonprofit. Please join us today.
Yeah, so I'm guessing if anyone that wanted to ask, I guess they would probably refer to this article where they kind of go through their value and try to define whatever Trumpism is. So I guess, and they use this to kind of Republican candidates through extra scrutiny if they want to be on their site because they suspended all Republican candidates from using their platform because of this. Now, from the article, I think they had like three values on there, and I was just gonna go, not gonna just read the whole thing, but like the first one was participation. So they said we value participation. Now, from the start, given the fact that what we're talking about right now, there should be a little asterisk on there because, for one, they're excluding you from participating by taking you off off their platform. So
Yeah,
that's not really
absolutely.
participation. So now. So in the paragraph, they bring up, their problem with Trump or Trumpism, the audacity of someone wanting to have voter ID laws. Why should you have an ID when you need to vote? So, and also investigating voter fraud. And I mean, there was a number of issues that I feel like if you read this paragraph, this helps both sides. This helps all involved. But yet, unless one party tends to benefit from these sort of things. But I digress. But I guess let me ask you. Now, what say you about these values for participation that they put in this article?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so crucial, and especially for young people, because we're far more active online, and this helps my generation get more involved in the political process. So, website like CrowdPack, has the potential to be very helpful for that. And I agree that that's important to do. And instead, what we're seeing is censorship. And, if I could just say that I think censorship is extremely detrimental to our democratic values, regardless of our ideology and our viewpoints. And just for example, if today we see it suppress Republicans, we see it suppress messages of ideologies that are different than yours, tomorrow it could suppress messages of ideologies that you do agree with, right? That's the danger. So this is, cause for concern for our generation, for sure.
Yeah, and so going into their next value, which, for you in particular, it may be of more interest because the next one is about we value facts, science, and evidence. In that paragraph, they mention, about using, saying that President Trump used alternative facts, fake news, propaganda, and obstruction of investigative norms. And when I hear that
Mm-hmm.
in the paragraph, I'm thinking, okay, fake news like what? Like, showing children in cages or showing children
Mm-hmm.
screaming like the time cover, like that type of
Mm-hmm.
fake news, or the propaganda from Hollywood celebrities promoting every liberal agenda policy that they can in every form of media. I mean, or obstruction
Right,
of
right.
or obstruction of investigative norms. Okay, Hillary Clinton. That's all I need to say about that. So so with the background in science and engineering, how do you respond to those
Right.
claims?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think you can't pick and choose, which side you scrutinize. So, everything should be open to scrutiny and open to that. You can't just selectively shut out and criticize one side.
Yeah, I mean, well, let me go to the next one because I'm going to mention this after I mentioned this last one that they had in this
Sure.
article. They said that we value diversity, which I feel like they left out a word in there, especially given from reading the rest of this article. I feel like they left out one word in there that they should have put in. I'm going to put it in for them. We value superficial diversity because it seems like it's all skin deep because diversity of
Hmm.
thought is not so much. They really don't care about that, especially given the fact that they are excluding Republican candidates from being on their forum. And from that, it was basically, I guess, to kind of sum up, it was basically just calling the president racist. They said they, reject Trumpism, which is in this whole article, right? But yet, on the at the, I guess if you want to put it on a scale, they embrace socialism. I mean, because they also have other candidates who are open socialists on this forum.
Hmm.
And I don't understand why. Okay, it seems like this whole supposed to be open and nonpartisan platform has chosen a side, and I feel like you and other candidates have become victim of that.
Yeah, I find that there's such a partisan rift today, and it's hard to have a dialogue. And I do think that politicians should be judged by their policy initiatives that will improve the lives of Americans and not based on their party affiliation. And you're right. I mean, there's a lot of picking and choosing based on, crowd tax ideology, and I don't think it should be that way.
Well, outside of all of this that has happened, I guess how is it going as far as finding? I guess you have to find another platform to do fundraising.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I'm actually using social media quite actively, and I have my website, naomiforcongress.com, has a donate link. So if you'd like to support the campaign, you're welcome and encouraged to do so. I've been sharing links to my website and articles and press releases and things like that on my social media platforms. I'm Naomi Levin NY on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So please follow me there. And fortunately, there are other ways that I can spread the message. And with your help, I can get it out to a wider group of young people, which is, I'm running on expanding opportunities for my generation, and I would love to reach people in my district that are my generation and support my ideas.
So, what other things y'all have going on as far as for the campaign, as far as if people want to volunteer or anything of that sort?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. So if anybody wants to get involved in the Get Out the Vote effort, we actually have a Get Out the Vote shop on July 10th, which is, I believe, the Tuesday. Let me just double check. Yep. And you can register for that on naomiforcongress.com/volunteer. And if you'd like to volunteer in any other capacity, you can do that as well. And, we're still looking for volunteers. We're getting a great group of people together, and I look forward to more people joining.
All right. I really hope more light is shed on this and what's been going on. And it's not only you, but a lot of other candidates that were affected by this as well. And I just hope this really. I mean, I should have said first of all, it's not like we're saying that they have absolutely no right to do this. Look, they have a right to do it. That's understandable. But the thing that needs to be pointed out about this is that they said that they are open and nonpartisan, and going from what we've seen, this seems more like this. They're making it basically say you have to be a Democrat to use their platform. So that's why,
Right.
yeah,
Thank you for shedding light on this issue. We need to spread the awareness of this real problem of censorship.
yeah.
So it's really great to discuss it with you.
All right. Well, Naomi, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Yep, man. You know, if you look at look at the current staff at CrowdPack. Honestly, I think it was kind of only a matter of time that something like this happened, because if you go down their staff, they have a lot of proud Obama and Hillary supporters on that list of current staff, at least. And this nonpartisan fundraising site, I mean, they say they have Republicans, but if if they are in the Republicans, they're definitely not making it public in their little bios. But I mean, if they had anything to do with the Obama campaign or the Clinton campaign, they probably put that in their bio of the current staff. But I guess if they are Republicans, they maybe that's I guess their stance against Trumpism. They're not even going to identify as Republican. They're just going to just say, hey, I went to so and so university, and just keep it at that. I mean, they could at least say, I don't know, just said. I mean, if they are Republicans there, on this quote unquote nonpartisan site. But I'm guessing there probably there may be some that maybe maybe worked for, I don't know, McCain or something. I don't know, or maybe Susan Collins. They could. I mean, if they did, why can you at least mention that? But anyway, look, I'm not going to go into a rant about it. I'm just saying, just look at their, on CrowdPack, look at their current staff, and yeah, I feel like this was just inevitable. So, all right, so like I said again, thanks to Naomi for joining us, and now we'll talk with West Cook Band, and they've had a very eventful couple of days, especially since having their ad rejected for a pretty good song. I really enjoyed the video, and I mean, and yeah, it just, all this kind of came out of nowhere, and I think this could be a song for not only just for the 4th of July, but just in its sort of patriotism and talking about the flag. And I think it's a good message. So let's get to our interview with West Cook Band. Hello, this is Trent Chat, and we are pleased to have West Cook with us and Nathan Stoops of West Cook Band. How y'all doing?
Doing great, sir. Thank you.
Now, it's been, I guess, a busy, couple of days, because y'all had a post where y'all was trying to promote a song, and Facebook decided to reject that ad. Now, I'm pretty sure that's a very simplified version of it all, but I guess first thing I want to ask is, I'm guessing this is not the first time y'all tried to advertise a song on Facebook.
We tried to, I guess, push the song back whenever we released it on iTunes, and had no problems then. I think with it being the actual music video this time, I think is what might have deterred them from feeling that way. But obviously that's not the way you want anything to happen. But I'm just happy that people are getting a chance to hear the song and see the video and form an opinion for themselves, because it is a positive message when it's all said and done.
Well, I guess this is the first time getting rejected by Facebook, or no?
Yes, we had never run into this issue before. It was a surprise, and Facebook's view that a song like this would be viewed as political as opposed to patriotic. I was surprised by that, but ultimately, there's an opportunity here for us to share our message, which is patriotism is not political. We believe that it's possible to create a better way. You don't have to have just a binary choice when it comes to do you or do you not love what your country stands for. And we're just really excited to have the opportunity to share that message.
Okay. Well, did Facebook ever, did they mention what in particular was, I guess, quote unquote, political about the post?
No.
No.
No, there was never anything defined. It was we were never able to speak with anyone directly, and no one has reached out to us from Facebook. There's been no communication or explanation given.
The ad is still rejected. That wasn't, they didn't change anything since?
Well,
No.
I'll give you a small update. Last night, they did update the story with Fox News by saying that they had reviewed the situation and that they had reversed their initial decision and that the ad was up and running. So we went and checked and found that was in fact not the case. The ad has not been running at any point, and it hasn't come back on overnight. So at some point, we'll probably have a chance to clarify that with Facebook. But again, it's created an opportunity, like Wes said, for a lot of people to hear the song, and ultimately that's the message that we're very happy to spread at this point.
Now, I'm guessing, well, let me ask you, did you know about the recent changes with Facebook as far as what they consider political content?
I personally did not know.
Okay.
No, I mean, I follow, this, that, and the other, and I've seen, Facebook as a company in the news, but was not aware of those changes to their platform. And even beyond that, I wouldn't have thought that they would have viewed a video of this patriotic nature in that context. So I didn't expect that. No.
Well, the reason why I asked, because I know, at least for the podcast here, last episode talked about Facebook and their policy with someone from the Heritage Foundation, and even myself, as far as trying to advertise the podcast, I've been stopped in the past couple of times recently because they've changed their policy. And just to, I guess, in a simple version of it, I guess I'll try to make it quick, is that they basically go by keywords. They look at certain words. So if you have a certain word or a certain phrase or anything like that, it's automatically considered political. So a lot of my episodes sometimes says something, it might say something about abortion, it may say something about Republicans, it might say if it just has the president's name or something like that, it automatically is considered political content. And I'm guessing, yeah. So that, I mean, there's a lot more to that, but that's one part of it, I know. And so I'm guessing that, yeah. So I'm guessing that maybe was the reason. I don't know if
The trigger.
yeah, I would call them trigger words, I guess, in a way, because
yeah.
I'm guessing from the song, I don't know, maybe they're equating it maybe by watching the video or just equating by what has been going on in sports in particular, as far as by having the word stand is considered a political stance in a way because of what's been going on.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
Hello, this is Brian Bledsoe, host of Trend Chat, also contributor at politichicks.com. Here to tell you about the new book called Politichicks, A Clarion Call to Political Activism, with over 300 pages from contributors like myself, talking about topics such as education, social issues, healthcare, the Second Amendment, and of course, activism. I encourage you all to check it out at politichicks.com, and is also available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Hey, what's up? This is Kai Jones, and you're listening to me on Trend Chat.
I guess one thing I want to ask is what inspired to write the song?
Well, Nathan originally had come to me with a fully written song, and we sat down and revised some things and took it to our producer, and he pretty much told us it was the message was so much bigger than what we had written. And we added in a third writer, Mr. Will King, and we sat down and we rewrote the song 3 different times. I guess the fun part about it is that, Nathan tends to lead, or is more conservative. Will's more liberal. And I'm kind of middle of the road. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. That's kind of how I see things. And it took 3 different perspectives, and we tried to mold it all into one unifying song that we could send out to everybody and make everybody proud to be from this country and remember the reasons why, things that we get to have as being Americans, the reasons why we get to be Americans, and try and bring a message of positivity and unity to everyone. It's really just our belief in how everyday life should work. I guess more than anything else would be the way I'd say it. You know, manners maketh, you know, respect for each other, just core values.
All right, and I guess let me ask, because I know from the past couple of days I've heard some criticism in one sense. I want to ask, what do you say to there are people, as far as even in listening to the song, which personally I think it's a great song, but I heard from some that will say that, well, in the song where you said that the flag is for all of us, and they will come back and saying like, well, it's not for us, and that's the reason why we're kneeling for the flag. So what would you say to those people that make that criticism?
I would say that we appreciate their opinion and we would love to have a conversation. I think that's one of the biggest things that we hope to accomplish with this song, is to bring groups of people together and allow those groups of people to communicate better. I think there's a lot of division out there that is caused by people having differences of opinion and kind of just walling themselves off from talking to or sharing information from other groups of people. And you know, America has always been a melting pot of ideas, and that's the way the country was founded and the way it's always been run. And I would say to that we hope this song allows people to have conversations, maybe with somebody that they wouldn't, and just hear a different perspective. And that goes for both sides of the equation in terms of the specifics you were referencing there. Just find a common point of unity and start a conversation about how we can all help each other be better.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. I think, I've made my point numerous times on the podcast, and just what people are doing as far as protesting the flag is just the wrong way of doing it. I feel like I have no problem with protesting, you know, your government in general, but the flag is one thing in particular is that we can all come together on. But apparently, some people don't feel that way. So, you know, y'all been on Fox News and other media outlets, you know, in the past couple of days. And I guess let me ask, how's the reception been as far as in the past couple of days?
It's going great. I mean, as far as the feedback from the general population has been overwhelmingly positive. I mean, you're going to have those that are going to speak their piece either way, but overwhelmingly positive. You know, we're actually flying out to New York tonight to do Fox News in the morning. We'll be there till Friday. I think there's a couple of things that are actually being set up. A lot of great feedback from friends and fans and family, and from what I can tell, you know, there's a lot of people who are sharing it and understanding what's being said in it. And who knows? I mean, come tomorrow morning, they're going to have us on TV. So, I guess we'll just have to kind of see where it goes from there.
All right. So, I mean, let's hear this song that everyone's been talking about. Here it is, I Stand for the Flag by West Cook Band.
This is Trend Chat.
I saw her flying there by the dawn's early light, a little tired, a little tore up, still hurting from the fight. And then it hit me, you ain't gotta pick a side. You can love your fellow man and still have pride. 'Cause we're all stitched together like the red, white, and blue. Might be a little bit different, but we're all the same too. 'Cause the stars and stripes are so much more than that old piece of cloth on your grandma's porch. It gave us that American dream to be anything that we want to be. It don't matter where you are, from a one-room church to an uptown bar. Don't care if you're black or white or who you love. I stand for the flag, and the flag stands for all of us. For the teachers of today, for the leaders of tomorrow, for long-haul driving truckers, rolling all night hauling cargo. The banker pays the farmer who feeds the factory working man, while a preacher talks to Jesus about his son in Afghanistan. We all need each other like an apple needs a pie, and that's just another day in this American life. stars and stripes are so much more than that old piece of cloth on your grandma's porch. It gave us that American dream to be anything that we want to be. 'Cause it don't matter where you are, from a one-room church to an uptown bar. Don't care if you're black or white or who you love. I stand for the flag, and the flag stands for all of us. I stand for showing kindness, treating everyone with love. Be proud of who you are, and don't forget where you came from. 'Cause the stars and stripes mean so much more than that old piece of cloth on your grandma's porch. It gave us that American dream, anything that we want to be. And it don't matter where you are, from a one-room church to an uptown bar. Don't care if you're black or white or who you love. I stand for the flag, and the flag damn sure stands for all of us.
All right. So, well, let me ask, y'all have any dates coming up?
Yeah, we got a full slate of things. I mean, we stay busy all the time. This was, obviously this kind of reaction wasn't something we were necessarily anticipating. We were hopeful that, people would listen and spread and so on and so forth. But we've got a full list of dates here in Nashville and a handful outside of town. We primarily play in Nashville, Tennessee, Wednesday through Sunday, unless we're on the road, which is not very often.
But it's looking like that will be increasingly so at this point.
Yeah,
That
does seem to look like that's going to change.
You can look up any of our dates at westcookband.com. There's a full schedule of dates on there. You can also view the video, check out the press release on the song. You can download the song, connect with us on there. We one of the cool things that we did with this was we partnered with a veteran-run company called Front Style Apparel, and they created an exclusive design for a merch product for us for this. And if any of your listeners are familiar with Grunt Style, it's an amazingly high-quality company, veteran-run company. We're very supportive of veterans and veteran causes, and you can buy those shirts, check out those shirts on the website. And Wes, why don't you tell them about the Fit Ups Foundation that we're supporting as well?
Yeah, we also partnered up with a nonprofit organization called Fit Ups Foundation. It's nationwide, but they have a hub here in Nashville as well. And what it is it's also veteran-run. It specifically caters to veterans, but active duty can also apply for it as a scholarship-based program, all paid for, 8 to 12-week mental and physical testing in order for veterans to get their license to become personal trainers. And, it's job skill training and job placement for, as I said, specifically veterans, but also some active duty as well. And 15% off the top of each T-shirt sale goes back to Fit Ups. Just trying to return the favor to those that have done so much for us already.
All right. So let everyone know, where to get your music and also where they can reach you on social media.
Okay. You can find us at westcookband.com. That's our website. We have, as Nathan stated, we have our tour dates as well as our online shop for the merchandise. You can download the single there, and you can also watch the video if you'd like to. Facebook, West Cook Band, at West Cook Band on Twitter, at West Cook Band on Instagram. You can download the song on iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Play,
Spotify.
I think that's about it.
All right. Well, if you heard the song now, and tell your friends and check them out if they're near you at your town. So thank y'all so much for your time.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
And thanks to everyone for joining us. And that's it. We'll chat with you next week.